Ladies and gentlemen, this is Lee Grayhill. Tell me about your show here in Asbury Park at Convention Hall. What event did we just catch?
Well, I just like to keep up on things, and so I do this once or twice a month. I just get a bunch of people together and have an impromptu fashion show. Sometimes I call it guerrilla fashion because nobody's really expecting it. As you can see, sometimes there's music, and sometimes there's not. But I do my own design.
Customers. There's nobody in here to sell them anything.
I'll be right there. See how it happens? I design clothing. I also run a retail store, which I provide space for other designers, art, clothing, jewelry, things like that. I've been here in Asbury Park for about 10 years already, watching this town grow back to its beautiful state. I love it here in Asbury Park. I did theater in New York for many years, so my stuff is a little eccentric, a little out there, as you probably noticed.
Lee, whose work did we see on the runway? Consignment work or your work?
My work. Yeah, I like to take the vintage clothes and redesign them, and some of it is my original work, you know, just original label. And I accessorize with a young woman named Joy Bellamy. She has a company called Trash Cookie, which are just the most incredible, crazy plastic accessories. So we have a good time with that. I do a little vintage in my shop, so I carry some beautiful antique bags and jewelry and things like that that I use to accessorize my designs.
Now, Asbury Park Summer Community, are you open all year?
Open all year round. Actually moved from the downtown area to the boardwalk in November. Best thing I ever did. Talk about location. There's always people here. It's a wonderful community. Asbury Park is a beautiful town, and everybody here is committed to the renovation of this beautiful city, myself included.
Tell me about your supermodels, from the youngest to the oldest.
Oh my goodness, I always have the best, and everyone's a volunteer. A lot of them are involved in a contest right now, a supermodel search that's being run by a young man in this community. So a lot of the models were actually working on a challenge for their future. So we have a wonderful photographer, Andre Giacometz, who I work with closely as a stylist. He does all my portfolio work, and so he's volunteered to take the photos at all my fashion shows.
How many fashion shows do you do here in Convention Hall, and where can people go to get more information? Lee.
Well, I did 3 this month alone, but usually go to the website, the AsburyParkBoardwalk.com, which will give a list of events for the month, and will include the fashion shows. I usually do them the first Saturday of every month. Right here in the arcade, 8 o'clock, with or without music. Hopefully with.
And your store is bubbling. Well, let's go back to Bird. Is it Bird or Bird?
It's Bird. My folks called me Bird as I was growing up. It's a nickname and a cherished one. So in my parents' honor, I named my store Bird.